Hi guys, so the leader of the DUP seems to be a glutton for punishment as he went on his hands and knees to the media to beg Boris Johnson to do something for what he calls the people of Northern Ireland, but is code word for the DUP. Jeffrey Donaldson had received assurances from the Prime Minister and his Brexit Minister Lord Frost and Liz Truss that they would help the DUP out, the people of Northern Ireland out, by triggering Article 16 of the Protocol. That all came to nothing. Why? Because helping Jeffrey Donaldson out is quite low on Boris Johnson's list of priorities. Actually, Johnson doesn't have a list unless you count one as a list. Listen to the leader of the biggest unionist party for now embarrass himself once again.
But I would say this to the Prime Minister. Northern Ireland is an important part of the United Kingdom. You're our Prime Minister. And if you want to build confidence, then do what other Prime Ministers did in the past. Recognise that we have a serious problem here.
Other Prime Ministers in the past. Well, if we look at two Prime Ministers in particular, two former Prime Ministers, Tony Blair and John Major, were extremely important to the peace process. And both Tony Blair and John Major said leaving the European Union would be bad for Northern Ireland. It would create instability. And now there's instability. Now, the Northern Ireland Protocol is undoing some of the damage of Brexit, but it's not doing all of the damage of Brexit. It's not possible to undo all of the damage of Brexit. Protocol is not perfect. This guy here, Jeffrey Donaldson, wants to get rid of the protocol. He wants more instability. But it is ironic that he would he would refer to previous prime ministers. Boris Johnson needs to act like previous prime ministers. Yes, like the ones who actually cared about Northern Ireland, cared about the people of Northern Ireland. And when I say the people, I mean both sides.
And instead of being focused on what's going on in Downing Street, be the Prime Minister the people needs. Reach out to Northern Ireland. Help us to resolve these issues. Make this a priority. Let's get our political institutions restored on the basis of sound foundations. That means dealing with the protocol, making these issues a priority so that the people of Northern Ireland can enjoy strong, stable government.
Who is undermining the executive at the moment? It's the DUP, his party. They're the ones who are creating instability. The protocol is providing a level of stability, and the DUP want to undermine that. The people of Northern Ireland generally support the protocol. Businesses in Northern Ireland overwhelmingly support the protocol. The people who don't support the protocol are the likes of the DUP and the TUV and some loyalist parties and movements in Northern Ireland. Those are the minority that want to get rid of the protocol. And their reasoning for that is because the protocol undermines Northern Ireland's position as part of the United Kingdom. But the problem with that position is that the UK government and Parliament have denied that. The Northern Ireland Secretary has denied that. Boris Johnson, I think himself, has denied that. So you can't turn around and say, the protocol, which is basically just dealing with goods, it's not dealing with people, it's dealing with goods moving from Great Britain to Northern Ireland, undermines Britishness in Northern Ireland in some way. It doesn't.
That's what we expect of a Prime Minister. We can't go on like this, David. We can't go on with a situation where serious problems like we have here in Northern Ireland are not getting the attention they deserve.
What serious issues? There are no serious issues. Any issues that have been brought to the European Commission by business leaders in Northern Ireland have been pretty much dealt with. And I've covered this before on a number of occasions. Manufacturing Northern Ireland, for example, support the protocol. They met with the Vice President of the European Commission, They listed off their problems with the protocol, asking how can we streamline it, how can we fix it, and the European Commission returned with proposals, and the response from the business community in Northern Ireland was extremely positive. They're not happy with Brexit. Brexit creates instability. The protocol creates a certain level of stability. And politicians like Jeffrey Donaldson want to inject instability once again into Northern Ireland politics, undermining businesses, undermining jobs, undermining investment. Remember, Northern Ireland is uniquely positioned that it has access to the European single market and the British internal market. But people like Jeffrey Donaldson are not happy with that, and they want to remove that benefit. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.